Hi YouTube, it is I, Danielle, better known as Danielle the Happy Medium. And for those who are coming across this video for the first time, then let me introduce myself and my channel and what it is that we do over there. So as I say, I'm Danielle and I develop mediums full time. And on my channel, we talk about all things mediumistic, spiritualism, all of them things that the Buddha mediums always looking, or maybe you're just looking for information. If so, and it sounds something that you're interested in, come on over. Maybe join us, subscribe to the channel. It might be just what you're looking for. For them who are the return subscribers, welcome back to Friday's upload. And in today's viewers' question and also a student's question, we're going to talk about same communications in mediumship, why it happens, what's really going on, what the problems may be. And this video may upset a few, all right? And it's certainly not intended, but I'm going to put that one right out on the starting block right as we get into it and what I really think about these things. And this, like I say, comes off the back of a viewer's question, but also a student's question. And they were both asked on the same day. How strange is this? So my student's question and the viewer's question is that they were in circles, I think online. Well, I know they're online, in that there was said individuals in there that were bringing through the same communicator week in, week out. Now, I have a couple of questions about this one, and I'm going to go through all of them so that you have a good understanding of what it is that I'm saying to you. I'll try and give you some examples in order to support you in these areas so that we sort of break it down. So the first breakdown that I want to give, which is from the spiritual aspect, which is that communications will continuously turn up if they haven't been quite given off in the right way or they haven't gotten over what they're trying to say. So what that communicator will do is continuously try on different mediums' mind till eventually they get over what it is that they're trying to say to the loved one in front of them, whether that be online in circles, galleries, private sittings, whatever it may be. And that can be one of the reasons. And for me, I have seen that one happen. I have seen that one go on. And so I understand the parameters of why that happens through the intelligence. All right. Another aspect in that spiritual bracket is that the intelligence knows that their loved ones are in that room. And therefore, there's a good opportunity that they're able to get over and talk to their loved ones. It could be because there's a lot going on with their loved ones down here. It could be there could be multiple reasons for as to why that intelligence sort of stays and comes, because it wants to support their loved ones, or generally just like I say, wants to get off this information or this communication or these pieces of evidence so that this sort of communication can get over in the way that they feel. Now, this happens a lot where people are being taken quite quickly. It could also be where there's been some problems prior to people passing over. So there's been some disagreements in families, such like things. So it tends to be more this one in them parameters. But I have also seen loved ones from the spirit world come forward regular because they're trying to support their loved ones down here. And that may be health related concerns. It just all depends. But it's more when there's issues or problems. The next thing we've got to look at, which may trigger a few people, so I'm going to say this right now, is you, the medium. So what tends to happen, or what I have seen over the years, is that when we're working with any individual, your knowledge is only as big as the knowledge in which that you take. So what I mean by this is the person in which that you're taking knowledge from or you're getting knowledge from, their database is only whatever it is that their knowledge is. That's all that that student can take, because that's all that the teacher, the person who shares knowledge, has to give. So what that could be is that their knowledge or their information is limited because of the fact that that's all that they have available to them. Now, that's not one's right or wrong, or that person's doing anything wrong or anything like that. It's just that's the way it is. You can't learn something that the person in which you're trying to get it from hasn't got it within them. So that's one of the things. Now, the other aspect of this bit is you as the medium are either frightened or are choosing not to look for other communicators. So we become quite comfortable within our development. We understand mums and dads and grandmas and granddads. and don't really want to push anymore for that. One, maybe because of fear. Two, maybe because we're quite comfortable there. I like doing them types of communications, Danielle. I don't have a problem with this. That's great. And every medium, and I'm going to say this with the greatest respect, is well within their rights to do that. There's some mediums like myself who push for all sorts of different types of communicators, but there is other mediums who are quite comfortable and happy to say that. That's not saying that that's wrong. It's just where they're comfortable. And like I said, there is nothing wrong with that. So when we're looking at this type of thing within this area, I have to then assess, one, is it the knowledge in which that they've taken, or two, is it that they're just comfortable and happy there and they're okay? Now, a lot of people will find that quite triggering, and they'll find that quite triggering because they'll be like, well, I'm doing a lot with my development, I'm trying to push forward and such like things. That's great. And that then therefore this doesn't apply to you, all right? Because ultimately you're striving to do more and you really want to do more. It's more dedicated to those who are in that room and have decided to stay comfortably within their development, or that they maybe need to move now from this particular individual and onto somebody else who can expand this area for them if it's something they want to do. So that's another aspect of it. The other aspect of why it is that we may see certain mediums within galleries, communications, whatever it may be, is unfortunately the ego. So what tends to happen is that ultimately there can be some divides within groups and such like things, which there is some of there who are much more well established within their understanding of their development. There's some of them in there that are certainly working towards that, and then there's the middle band who are sort of, nearly there but not at the like here either. And that's okay. Everybody's development is in different areas. Sometimes when people want to impress, or people want to do things to make them look a lot bigger and better, they will pull through a communication that they know beyond a shadow of a doubt will be taken in that room. Now, this applies more to rooms or galleries or circles where people know each other and have been developing or working with each other for a long time. And this is why I'm saying to this video, it's going to trigger a few people here, and it's not intentionally meant to. It's just I've got to cover all parameters. What tends to happen is that medium will pull through this communicator and know that their friend across the way who they've been developing for 6 months, a year, has mum or dad in the spirit world, and has also watched that communication be given off in practice rooms, galleries, within the circle rooms, whatever it may be. And they know that that person over there is going to take that message because they know that the evidence that's being pulled through is true, right, and accurate. Now, with the greatest of respect, that's not really doing the person in front of you any good, nor is it doing you any good. But the ego is wanting to, especially when there tends to be new people added to circles, to galleries, to rooms and things like that. Well, look at me, look what I can do, look at me, look at me. And that can be quite intimidating for people who are just learning, just starting out, or just sort of trying to get the foot in the door. Because as humans, we make communities, we enjoy people's interactions, and we can at times feel quite threatened by new people and new things and new relationships that may be built. And so because of that, the ego can step out, and the ego can make you want to do this. Now, I've got a story about this, but I don't think it's really for YouTube, I'll be honest with you on that one. But something very similar happened to me in this particular scenario, and that's probably why I can talk about it. Talk about it not only from a professional level, but also from a personal experience where I've actually firsthand seen this. And so when this question cropped up, not only by a viewer, but also from a student, I felt it was important that we talk about it. And this isn't trying to get at anybody or anything. I'm just talking about the facts as I see them. You don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me. That's okay too. But I have to give all sides of the coin. And anybody who knows me well enough will know that I tend to do that. And it always comes from a good place. So what do we do about these things? So let's start back at the beginning. So with the spiritual aspects, that's how that's going to be. And all we can do as individuals is keep working with that until eventually that communication is given off what it needs to give off. And then eventually it'll probably stop coming through, or it may allow others to come through. They'll still come through, but others may then start to come through instead. And that's perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with that. Within the second arena, you have to ask yourself the question, is it time for me to move on? Is it time for me to look for somebody else? If you're wanting to develop this area more, and where do I go next? And who is it I should be looking for to take me on that next step of the journey? If you're comfortable in this area and that's all you want to do, then that's okay too. And that's absolutely fine. What I would recommend within this area of where you want to stay is look for different mums and dads or grandmas and granddads, or whatever it may be there, so that helps you to do lots of different ranges of mum and dads, not the same mums and dads within the group and such like things. Or try a different type of communicator, entirely up to you. With the third one, the problem with that one is that there's nothing you can do as an individual. There's not. All you can do is find the right groups for you that work for you, and where you get the bit of the ick, or where you get the sort of sense of this isn't for me, take that as a sign that it's time for you to look somewhere else. Thousands and thousands of circles and galleries and groups and such like things. You don't have to stick with the one. You can try multiple places until you find a room that suits you or an area that works quite well for you. But when you start to see all of these things going on, you have to ask yourself the question, right, is it time for me to move on? Should I be challenging myself to try and work in a different area with new people so that I can get the very best from my development? They're questions that you have to ask yourself. Or you can stay within that group, hope that you fit in, and eventually, hopefully, you're accepted. You may not be accepted. All depends. It's unfortunately I'm not there, so I can never guarantee whether you're going to be accepted or not. Or you can go out on your own and do as you do and watch YouTube videos and such like things. The choice is ultimately yours. If you find yourself in this third sort of category, like I say, you've got to make a choice as to what you're doing there, or you either rise to the challenge. That's what I mean. Challenge to develop your mediumship to the very best of your ability, not because what others are doing in the room. Always do your work from the best intention of you. Always do it with the right heart. It doesn't matter what all of them are doing in that room. It doesn't matter whether you're accepted or you're not accepted. Just go and do you. And you can rise that challenge and use the things that are going on to raise your awareness, your understanding, learn to understand you as an individual more, so that basically you can get the very best from your development. Excellent question, a one that may upset a few and may trigger a few, I've got to be honest. And if you're triggered, you have to ask yourself the question, why am I triggered? Because if there's nothing I'm saying here that doesn't resonate, there's no reason for you to be triggered in any way. But I also understand it may also trigger some people as well. And it's not intentionally based, it's just that it's a question that I feel is important to answer for not only students, but also for those out in the industry as well. So I have been Danielle. Thank you very much for coming along and watching me and speaking to me today. Leave the comments in the box. Let me know if you understand any of these experiences, if any of these things have happened to you. Let me know in the comments box, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye for now.